liberty and justice for all.
An executive session was held on May 10th, 2022 from 6 p.m. to 7:40 p.m. for personnel items, and also this evening from 6:30 to 7:06 for personnel items. Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Here. One minute, please. Don't call me.
Hey, Mr. Ferrick, we have you on speaker. We're just starting the regular meeting right now. We were in executive. Okay.
Now, roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Farrick?
Here.
Mr. Gansey? Here. Dr. Kraus?
Dr. Frost said ball game tonight. He's excused.
Mr. Martin?
Present.
Mr. Mathis? Here. Mr. May?
Mr. May is representing this board at the Greene County Career and Technology Center.
Mr. Pratt?
He had a family business. He's excused.
And Mrs. Whitehead?
Present.
6. All everybody's here.
6 individuals here, yes, sir.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of April 21st, 2022.
So moved.
Mr. Whitehead, need a second? Mr. Natchez. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Unfinished business? I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Mr. Natchez? Second, Mr. Collins. Any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Oh, I'm very sorry. Now observe and move to silence. Thank you. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to have the student representatives first, just in case you want to leave after the presentation. You can stay, whatever you want.
Okay, my name is Cassie Manhart. I have 2 groups here today. I'm so proud of them, and I want you to hear what they've accomplished over the last month, since the last time that you met. I'll start with my book club. They visited Waynesburg University for a reading festival, and I'll let them introduce themselves and let you know what they did, but I just want you to know that they represented Carmichael's, that they need to be commended for the way that they represented Carmichael's. You would be so proud to watch them experience this reading festival. So, come on up, girls.
Can we start talking?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Catherine. I am the president of the book club.
I'm Madison.
I'm just in the book club.
And I'm Braylon Rosick, and I'm secretary/treasurer of the book club.
So the first thing we did was Comic-Con. We went to Milan Park in September, and we met a lot of authors. We met Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, which is pretty cool. We got a picture with him too. We met Brooklyn Dean, Dustin Kaufman, and many others, other authors that were there. And then we did the Covered Bridge Festival, which we painted faces on the kids, which is pretty neat.
No?
Yeah. Go ahead.
On April 22nd, our high school book club attended the Spring Reading Festival at Waynesburg University. The event was sponsored by Waynesburg University's Sigma Tau Delta and organized by Senior Alexander Morar. We were treated to a morning of lectures and writing workshops. The afternoon was topped off with a tour of Waynesburg University, and we had a tie-dye activity. The theme for the festival was Reading with a Reason. We gained a lot of inspiration from the lessons and the required readings. We were encouraged to participate in the writing contest with an opportunity to win scholarship money We had Braylon Brozich to win the poetry contest, receiving the Distinguished Writers Award. Catherine Matches with the essay contest winner. And I won the Creative Story Award. The book list for the festival was Out of My Mind, The Secret Life of Bees, and The Dangerous Art of Blending In, and The Glass Castle. We all enjoyed the books, and we give the reading festival and its books a 10 out of 10. Yep.
In the beginning of this year, our book club decided to read books from the banned book list from the American Library Association. This list consists of novels that include topics that highlight persecuted individuals and draws attention to banned and challenged, while ultimately celebrating the freedom to read. One of the first books we read from this list is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book explored the world of Charlie, a boy who was considered an outcast. We got to see how just a couple of friends completely changed his life for the better, especially after finding out about his traumatic past. We then read To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper, which delved into the theme of racism and how that mindset showed the South in the early 1900s. We were able to compare how some of those ideas still occur in some people today, and how it has negatively impacted society. We then read 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, which is all about feelings that many people deal with, such as anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. After reading these books is when we found out about the Reading Festival at Waynesburg University, in which we read multiple books such as Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper, The Secret Life of Bees by Sharon Monk Kidd, The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angela Simelis, and The Glass Castle by Jeanette Wells. These books fell exactly in line with the theme as they talk about traumatic events that teens go through today. As we finish this year off strong, I think we can all say as a book club that we learned a lot about different kinds of hardships and how different kinds of people handle them.
Does anybody have any questions? I'm so glad you're reading books because I'm a book fan. There's nothing like turning a page.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're so proud of them. Okay, my next student group is our Rocket League esports team, and I will let them give you a rundown of their accomplishments. But the way they handled themselves at Waynesburg University, again, they were humble. They were great sports. They're in 9th grade. We have a group of esports kids from 9th through 12th grade, but this 9th grade team, they had a great season. Just last Thursday, we competed in Waynesburg University. Has a new arena, and it's quite a facility. It's an up and coming. It's kind of here already, but esports is a thing, and we're right in there with everyone else. And they'll explain that to you. They have a presentation too, and they'll introduce themselves. But I don't know if you see that. You advance the screen right here, okay? So somebody can do that. Oh, they want to show them your trophy.
So yeah, we won a trophy at Waynesburg, the college, and we're the Greene County Innovation Ecosystem League first place Rock and Read champions. So it was a great experience. And now I'd like to present you to the Rock and League esports team, including Orchid Hewitt, John Harden, Jacob Dean, Johnny Crandall, and Anthony McMahon. Unfortunately, only me, Johnny, and Jacob were able to make it to the vacancy. So I'll sit down. This is the esports industry. Esports is a booming global industry where skilled video gamers play competitively in the same way that traditional sports have competitions in baseball, basketball, and football. Esports encompasses competitions across a variety of video games. Is the industry successful? Global awareness of esports is growing and fast. In 2019, global awareness of esports was 1.8 billion, and the number is only rising. In 2021, the global esports industry was valued at more than $1 billion US. That's a nearly 50% increase from the year before in 2020. And then these are the statistics of how it rises over the years. So you can see that the audience was 335 million in 2017, 395 million in 2018, 454 million in 2019, and then in 2022 it's 645 million. Where esports are at financially. Juniper Research predicts the esports industry will reach $3.5 billion by 2025. The new Juniper Research study found out that the global esports industry will reach $2.1 billion this year, 2022, and reach $3.5 billion by 2025, consisting of an attractive but predictable 70% per year jump. Why do we like esports? We like video games because sometimes you need a break from reality. Esports is a great way to communicate with friends online. However, people should take breaks from video games to let your mind relax. And then this is us at the campus. It's me, Anthony, Johnny, and Jacob. This is the setups. The setups were what, $17,000 per setup? $16,000 per setup, and there's 25 of these setups across the room. So yeah, it was a great experience for everyone there. I thought it was pretty good. And then here's another picture. As you can see, this is Johnny, Jacob, and Anthony had left the match, but yeah, that's them. And I didn't play like that much because I'm not as good as them. They're really good. But, yeah. And then thanks for listening to our Rocket League Esports presentation. Thank you.
Now I got to go watch them play, and it was amazing. It really is, and when you talk about the communication piece, to hear them talking about what they play soccer with cars. I've never seen a game of video games, but basically playing soccer with cars, and to hear how they communicate with each other, to block and defend and go on offense, and it truly is amazing to hear them talk. So congratulations, it was great to watch you guys play for a little while.
Thank you, Mr. Menhart. We have teacher updates on the agenda. Mr. Robin.
I want to start off and thank you guys for our shirts and our lunch. We truly appreciated it. The food was marvelous, and we all really like our shirts. It is growing. People are catching on and adding stuff, so I'm kind of ad-libbing it and shortening it up so I'm not up here forever. I'd first like to start off with our Mike's Mentor group. The kids were really excited. They made cards and flowers when they gave the secretaries and the nurses cards and flowers for their special days to celebrate them and thank them for all that they do for us. Our art club had an art show on May 12th from 5:30 to 7. 39 students from the Art 1, 2, and Advanced Arts classes participated. On May 1st, Mr. Krull took a group of high school boys to the half marathon, and they ran it for the first time. It was Dalton Zuper, Dalton Reynolds, A.J. Donaldson, Aiden Bate, Carson Hillsman, and Nate Dursa. It was the first time they ran a half marathon, and it was in the cold and rain, so it wasn't even a nice day. Our SAD organization got together on April 28th with Officer Miller and Miss Rice, and they hosted a mock car accident out on the football field. And the outside organizations that helped them pull this off was Allegheny Health Network, Carmichael's and Cumberland Township Volunteer Fire Department, Cumberland Township Police Department, EMS Southwest, West End Auto, and Greene County Coroner's Office. The SAD leaders are Allie Ernest, Catherine Natchez, and Nick Rico. They all play roles in the accident, and Brooke Waters shared some personal experiences with her classmates. The IU, they had a showcase at South Point. We had 13 students and 4 teachers attend on May 11th. The showcase was achievements in STEM. Mrs. Menhart students presented their flight simulator and the stock market challenge. Mrs. Moorcraft students showed off their robotics and their student-ran business. Mrs. Patton's class showed off their Sphero rockets and their student-ran business they called the Bolt Company. And Miss Hathaway's students showed off Mike's Nation Broadcasting, live streaming, podcasting, and auto production. Middle School Student Council on May 13th had a tie-dye social, and it was free to the students of the district. They had middle school, elementary, and high school students attend. There was about 50 kids signed up for it. Civil War Days, 6th grade. Tomorrow we'll have their Civil War Days, figuring we won't be here in the summer, so we're adding this in before it happens. They're going to have a reenactment of the Civil War, and the students will participate in marching drills and military drills that are led by Mr. Doug Wilson, Dr. Richard Krause, Dr. Ray Red, and Mr. Darren Krause. Our Envirothon, which is always big in our school, and we're all proud of them, and the principals will tell you more about them. But we had, for the Greene County Division, we had 3 teams go. All 3 teams placed, first, second, and third. The first place team are now moved on to states. They had their oral presentation, and I'm just going to I have the names of all the kids if you want to know them. But our first team that is part of states is Alex Lawrence, Spencer Connor, Brooke Waters, Sophia Zaylor, and Faith Willis. Our first graders had the pleasure of working with Jennifer Clark from Clark's Nursery. She came and talked about her business and plants, and she helped them plant flowers for Mother's Day, and she provided everything they needed. So big shout out to her for donating the materials. The first grade every year goes on the walk, and they go to different businesses in the area. They stopped here at the library and saw Mrs. Menhardt's library, and she gave them sunglasses to wear on their walk. Fox's Pizza gave them pizza. Magic Moments let them watch and help with flower arrangements. The fire department let them see the fire trucks and even spray the fire hose. Flanagan Library, they all signed up for library cards, and they ended the walk at the Dairy Queen with ice cream. And Mr. Willis's National Honor Society group were able to help them on the walk and help keep the kids safe. Mrs. Kiefer and Mrs. Rico's rooms at the elementary released butterflies that they had received as caterpillars, courtesy of Mrs. Krause. Mrs. Thomas and the kindergarten team celebrated Cinco de Mayo. So the high school Spanish club went to the elementary and they played games and learned a little bit more about Cinco de Mayo. Pre-K and kindergarten, they had a career week, and they had different family members and student volunteers share their careers, such as police officers, teachers, hairstylists, physician's assistants, business owners, and farmers, and that was just a few of them. 7th grade had a sci-fi tech day at Carnegie Science Center. They got to do different activities and learn through these activities, hands-on activities. They did a computer science iPhone center, and where they got to use computers to program stuff for like they're going to do in the future. They can do in the future under their jobs. Pre-K News, they had on May 6th, they had their fashion show, which was open to the public and live streamed by our very own Miss Hathaway, which will also be live streaming their kindergarten graduation on May 31st. But since COVID, it's now open to more people, their family and friends can come and see them graduate. Pre-K and child development, every year we get together and we plant vegetables for the food bank. So we handed them off yesterday to the food bank, and they distribute them today to the people that came to pick up food. 5th grade, Native American History Day. They had a speaker that brought in different artifacts, told stories, and explained customs from early Native America and the French and Indian War, and his name was Todd Ghost in the Head Johnson, and he's from McKeesport. And that's the end of my report today. Okay? Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr.
And just so you know, the shirts that we got for teacher appreciation, I designed the shirt in our STEAM class, Mrs. Moorcroft's class, did the pressing, weeding, so they were made in-house with the new machine that we have. So those shirts that you see, and they have our 3 words on the back, so we're promoting what we're trying to do in the district. And but the kids actually made the shirts for the teachers, so it was nice that they were made in-house. So,
That's nice.
yeah, so it was very nice.
Any like?
Yeah, we love
I
it.
hope so.
Okay, any remarks from visitors? None? Okay, we'll move on. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. I'm going to go a little bit of what Lisa said because I do want to talk about the student showcase. So our students, teachers, administrators had the opportunity to attend. It was the very first, and from what I understand, it's going to be annual now, student showcase at Hill Garden Inn at South Point. They had to show, the students got to show some of the incredible things that we do in our school. Again, she said the broadcasting, stock market, personal finance, STEAM, robotics, drones, and aviation. In fact, we took one of our mini flight simulator up to South Point, and a lot of some of the students from all the other schools and administrators, Dr. Martin, who is our executive director for IU, got to fly our flight simulator. He crashed the first time. The second time, it's amazing though to see the kids. The kids come in and you know everyone has a death grip on the wheel, and the kids come in and help fly. And they like grab with one hand and they're like, okay, we'll get you back on track. And they got them on track and did get them to land. I do want to thank Mr. Martin for coming out. He got to come out and see our kids and support our kids in our district and see what we're doing, these things we're doing, along with what everyone's doing in the county. So I do want to read the names. I do have the names of those. With STEAM, our teacher was Nicole Moorcraft. The students were Ava Smith, Cameron Anderson, Tucker Whipke, and Lana Lenhart. The stock market, Cassie Menhart took Braden Christopher and Brooklyn Walker. With robotics, Megan Patton took Delaney Moorcraft and Joel Donaldson. Broadcasting, Jess Hathaway took Serena Mako, Olivia Toth, Gina Reeves, and Gabby Azani. And aviation, Cassie again was with Xavier Kane and John Purcell. And I'll tell you what, those two did an amazing job getting these people through the flight simulator. And our admin team also, Mr. Poland, Mr. Barry, Mr. Hoodalk, and myself were there with the team. So the students and teachers, thank you so much. You did an amazing job. Amazing how you represented our school well. So a couple other things. Our 11th grader, Gabby Yazani, she's going to represent Carmichael's Area School District at the PAIU Conference. So it's the Intermediate Unit Conference for the entire state. And she's going to be at Seven Springs singing the national anthem. And she's also singing a song titled "The Climb" by Miley Cyrus to open the conference. So it's a great honor to have one of our students going to a state conference, and she's opening the conference with those two songs. I did find out today also all of our EMT students who tested passed their exams today. So that's another amazing accomplishment. And lastly, I want to take a moment. I want to thank Dr. Matchess. I know we're accepting his resignation because he's moving today. Maybe we're accepting it, I don't know. But I do want to thank Dr. Matchess for his time served on our Board of Education, and I do want to wish you and your family all the best. You've really given a lot, not only to our children, but to our district and our community as well. So I truly thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
So, that concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Moorcraft? Elementary folks report.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Martin. I know I have a number of things on here. It's been a really busy May so far. I just want to highlight there's a lot of major events, but I want to start with looking at the ABC Fashion Show that I know we discussed a little bit earlier. But Friday, May 6th, Mrs. Ritt's class and Mrs. Antonini's pre-K class, they participate in our annual ABC Fashion Show. This is a wonderful experience. Each kid is designated a letter, and then they come up with a creative costume that represents that letter. One thing that we started to do that is kind of new is we actually have them parade around the elementary center, so all of our older kids get to see all of the cool costumes that they have. They then go into the to the gym with their parents in the audience, and they put on a program. I just wanted to say to Ms. Ritz and Ms. Antonini, thank you so much for your efforts in making that a huge success. Moving on, then we did have our reading competition, and we do the reading competition as well at the elementary center, and that took place on Tuesday, May 10th. We had 17 kids participate from grades 3, 4, and 5. It's at Waynesburg University, and they went to that competition, and they compete against other schools from Greene County. We have 3 teams for that, and after hearing a little bit more, each team goes through 3 rounds where they're asked 20 questions on 10 books that they had to read. And I was very impressed with how everybody did. We actually had one group that at the very end of the competition was in a 3-way tie for first. After that, they went to sudden death overtime. They ended up coming up with 3rd place overall. Once again, I want to say thank you very much. Ms. Brittany Bell is the individual who runs the book club and organizes that, our 5th grade teacher, so I just wanted to recognize that as well. I know we talked a little bit about the 1st grade walk. That was Wednesday the 11th. They went to the community. They learned about all of these local businesses. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all the organizations and their involvement. And these are some real world skills that they have not only do they learn things for each individual business that they go to, but they also learn about the impacts of like how these businesses affect the community, all of those particular components, which I think was very, very well. The last two on my list are things that happened this week. So on Monday, we were able to go to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And our fifth grade students were able to get a personal tour of Heinz Field. It's one of my favorite activities that we do every year. One of the most amazing things is when they go through the tunnels and they actually see Pittsburgh. You see a lot of kids that never seen Pittsburgh before, and their eyes just light up, and it's wonderful. Within this field trip, it was really good. They do a really good historical piece on the Pittsburgh Steelers, so you learn good historical information, but I think probably three big highlights. They actually allow you to go into the Pitt Panthers, the Pittsburgh Steelers locker rooms, and we actually get to stand in the locker room. We found out where Ben Roethlisberger's locker is. Everybody wanted to take pictures of that, and it was a wonderful experience. And then the other highlight for that is you actually get field access, and they don't allow you to step on the grass. That's like a big no-no. But at the same time, you are allowed to walk around, and these kids are actually standing where professional athletes get to stand on game day, and it is just such a wonderful experience for the kids. Typically, we do pair that with the Science Center. We weren't able to this year. So on the way to try to make that up, we were able to get to McDonald's on the way home. So I think that was a little bit of a benefit for the kids. Yesterday, to finish out the report, we had our 4th and 5th grade students who participated in our track and field day. Wonderful experience organized by Mrs. Steinhoff, who just does a phenomenal job with that. Our kids participate in a number of different activities: obstacle courses, hurdles, baseball and softball throw, frisbee toss, long jump, a bunch of different running races, and a tug of war contest, which we actually, because of weather, had to have inside. Wonderful experience. One of the things I think that is so beneficial from that is, aside from recognizing kids for their athletic prowess and their abilities, you just get to see the sportsmanship of kids and how everyone is so supportive of each other. And I just think that is, that speaks to the type of kids that we have, and I'm just so incredibly proud of them. Like I said, I did want to thank Mrs. Steinhoff, and I also wanted to thank all of the teachers who helped. They ran the events, they recorded the results, and they handed out medals to our place winners. So just a wonderful experience yesterday, and that concludes my report.
I'd like to add to your report.
Sure.
I was in Miss Bell's class for the Mockingbird trial, and it was fantastic. And it was a trial about whether you should have school year-round and take large breaks for breaks, or the way it is now. And these kids did great. They had professional clothes on, and they did an opening arguments, closing arguments, and I just wanted to shout out to Miss Bell in the 5th grade. They did a great job.
And it was a wonderful experience. She did that with every single class.
I know.
Every single class, it was amazing. And I have one other thing from my report, and I did want to add this too. I'm not sure if everybody's aware. Miss Bell has been being recognized as a Crystal Apple Award winner for recognition for outstanding teaching by an outside organization. So that was something that we had learned about, and she's been recognized for that. So I just wanted to also highlight that as well.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, I like to make a comment. I went years ago with my daughter to that football in the Heinz Field. It's amazing without paint on the field with the grass. It's like, it's kind of odd, to walk there. They didn't let us walk either, but we walked on the sidelines. It was probably cool.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
Middle school principal, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. Just to go along with some of the things we did here, and it was a busy month for middle school as well. There was a band concert this past Sunday, middle school and high school. Principal Walker did a great job. Our students did a phenomenal job presenting at that as well. We also had a presentation by a good friend of mine, Matt Berwick, and members of the Steel Wheelers, and I felt like this was a very instrumental piece to our pillars here, as long as talking about resiliency. These were two students, athletes, when they were in high school that had accidents, and those accidents conformed them to wheelchairs. And they talked all about how they have persevered. Matt has 3 master's degrees, and it was an hour-long presentation, but I think it really kept the attention of the students for that whole hour. He went along to talk about all the technological advances that you can make through wheelchairs, through smart devices and things like that. So I really appreciate him coming and speaking to our students about that. We also had a lot of incentives based around our PBOS testing. We were able, when you talk about testing, you want to make sure that the students give a solid effort, and our teachers, we had a mini pep rally. Our teachers did a great job of trying to get our students ready for those to put their best foot forward, and we had some incentives, and you'll be seeing those on the website throughout the week as we give those prizes away for testing. Some stuff coming up that we're really excited. Obviously, Ms. Robinson talked about our Civil War Day tomorrow. We're really excited about that for the 6th grade. We have 5th grade move-up day coming up next Wednesday. I'm excited to meet the 5th grade teachers and make their transition as easy as we can. for our 5th graders. We have a Junior National Honor Society induction on the 24th. That's next Wednesday, and a list of those members are provided in the report as well. Some things we are getting ready for, we have a Great Summer Academy planned for the month of June. We have 4 different weeks planned out with different themes, and the schedule for that is on, I do believe it's the 3rd page of this report. It looks like that it's kind of set up as to what we have going on for our middle school students. We're in the process now of getting students registered, making sure we have transportation, and things of that nature. We have Mr. Perkins' Catfish release that's coming up next week as well. Students are excited for that. The 8th grade science department is going to go to Ohio Pile and do some stuff on the water there as far as observation, wildlife, and stuff like that. Discipline report is provided for you. Attendance is steady at 90%. You know, everything has been moving along very swimmingly. A big part of right now is communicating with parents and community members about possible retentions and credit recovery and interventions to make sure that we keep our kids on their academic path going forward. And that concludes my report.
Any questions? I have one. What was the catfish release?
Well, I do believe it was 2 months ago they brought catfish in and kept them in this purchase room in the tank, and they're going to release them into the wild.
Great. Any other questions? Thank you very much. Senior high report, Mrs. Drebecki is also representing us at the Technological Center. So,
Yeah, I'll just go over a few things that she had. I'm not going to read her report. You guys, you can take a look at that on your own. She did want me to let you know, though, to let the board know and the Lavin's guests that we will have a reception before graduation. So there'll be some food and drinks and refreshments in the elementary cafeteria before graduation starts. So, you know, make sure if you want to bring your guests that you bring with you as well to stop down. She did want me to also to give you a copy of the graduation list. I know there was concern with that. The original list had around 20. Now that list has dwindled tremendously. So the kids are working hard to make sure that everyone's on track for graduation. But a lot of things. The prom was held. They're looking towards summer credits. They're working with Mr. Coleman with that summer academy to get kids experience. We've just gone through Keystones, ELA biology and math Keystones. So I think they're just about tied up, or makeups are finishing up about right now. So, but again, you can look at her report that she is representing us at the city. So, thank you, Mr. Martin.
any questions? Technology report.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Had a conversation with a gentleman that runs our Accelerated Reader and STAR program from the company, and they provided us with a data sheet that I thought was pretty astonishing. I attached that to the second page of my report. But in this program that I believe is used exclusively in Mr. Barry's building in the elementary school, the dates were from August the 1st through last month, April the 6th, but they read a total of 6,726 books. That's way more than I've probably ever read in my lifetime. I will read. I thought that was very impressive. And they learned 20,202 new words. So it was one of those things that I was really shocked at that number and astonished, and I thought it would be relevant to include in my report. We're also going to continue with that program and continue to reap the benefits that provides our students with. But, I'd bring that to your attention as well. Second part, we had more student information system data cleaning. The contract we have through the intermediate unit, we've now actually put that into motion. I had one meeting with Miranda Thomas from the IU, and we took care of a report that was due for the state for a course catalog and basically matching our courses that we teach here at Carmichael's with codes that the state of Pennsylvania needs to have coded correctly. We teach a zoology course. Well, the state of Pennsylvania puts a number to it that's obviously different than what we use for our internal purposes. So we had to get that all cleaned up so that we get that data to the state. Now that that process is done, we're now ready to go forward, and we won't make any of those mistakes in the future, so that we're even better. So we have 2 more dates scheduled, and then we're going to have more dates as the summer progresses. It's a lot easier to get everyone together during the summer months. Administration, secretaries, anyone putting data into our student information system called ALMA. If we're all on the same page, then it's really going to make life easier when it goes to pool reports for the Pennsylvania Information Management System known as PIN. So that's very progress, good progress. Technology renovation updates. We ordered a new wireless bridge to get internet to the field house. We had some legacy equipment that we had laying around that we were going to try to make work. Me and Mr. Franks looked at, and we made the decision that, you know what, we probably should get something a little better, a little more robust. It's going to provide internet, phones, and eventually security system out to that building as well. So that's well on its way. And the last thing, graduation's coming up. You know, working with Mr. Franks, and I got a shout out for him later on. But we acquired all necessary equipment to finalize the audio and the video live stream for graduation. So we had to get some components. The school had to purchase some components that we didn't have to in years past, but as we got new stadium sound, we needed to have microphones and things to go on with that, to pull that off. Our live streaming software that Ms. Hathaway does an amazing job with her student helpers with, it has actually been discontinued. As of February of 22, that company no longer exists. We thought it would be way too rushed to try to put something new together to purchase a new equipment company for graduation, so we're rolling with it as is. We did do a couple of patch repairs, but we got it up and running, and we are going to look in the future to researching and purchasing whatever system comes highly recommended, you know, moving forward, as long as we're going to continue the live stream, which I think is a great thing. And then, like I said, in conclusion, Mr. Franks, thank you so much for everything with the sound equipment and the amplifier at the stadium. You took care of that part. I just plugged the microphone in, so I appreciate that. And again, Ms. Hathaway, thank you for the live streaming stuff and support and help that you do and are always here and willing to help. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Tom?
Just a comment, if you can get internet to the field house, they may put a statue of them.
Thank you. Maintenance Supervisor, Mr. Frank.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do apologize for the time it's taking, but we were trying to use what we had. Other people from outside had provided a few parts, and there was only one way to do it, but to scrap it and start over. So it will happen. We're deep into grass season. The grounds are looking good. We're mulched. We're ready for graduation, and that's the biggest thing coming up. We've reviewed we're moving the tent slightly. We've reviewed all the setup plans. Everything's looking good. We're having regular meetings on the progress on the how everything's going to go together. We've done a little bit of outside work. We've got 8 more new LED parking lot lights on the poles. But getting back to the graduation, the sense of normalcy going through a normal graduation is so welcome, it's unbelievable. You know, because we have gone through 2 years of uncertainty, insecurity, and just torture to now see a class finishing and graduating. I can't wait. So that concludes my report. Happy report.
The only thing else certain is the weather.
You know what? We could get rained on, but be positive.
We'll make it.
I got a
Thank
comment. I just want to tell you and your staff how nice the facility looks. It really looks good. I mean, we can put ours against any other facility. That's how nice it
I
looks.
do believe so. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Very good. Just one board member and an old ex-superintendent. You know?
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
We already did student representatives. Committee reports. Human Resources, Mrs. Wojtek.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. The final graduation list 2022, motion to approve the final graduation list for 2022 as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Matches. Is there any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion to appoint.
Yeah, we usually pick if we need it. That's what we've done.
So we pick someone now? Who wants to be treasurer?
Typically, it's someone that isn't at that meeting.
Mr. Farrick? Mr. Farrick?
I don't know.
Mr. Pratt.
Mr. Pratt?
Mr. May,
Mr. Pratt is the newest member.
Mr. Pratt? Should I say that? Are we all in
That's
consensus
how I
here?
became treasurer.
Okay, I'll read it, Mr. Pratt. Motion to appoint Mr. Steve Pratt as board treasurer for 2022-23 school year.
We have a motion. We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Mr. Ferry?
second. Yes.
Any discussion on this motion?
Who's going to call him and tell him?
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Anybody opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay. Substitute list, 2022-23. Motion to approve the substitute list for the 22-23 school year as presented.
There is a motion on the floor. Do we have a second to this motion? Mr. Collins. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve this, no, I just did that. No, motion to approve the substitute list addendum as presented. Oh, that's the addendum. Yeah. Motion,
Have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mr. Collins. Any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
emergency substitute program, 2022-23. Motion to approve the participation of the 22-23 emergency substitute program through IU1 with a cost of $400 unchanged.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Yes. Any discussion on the motion? I have one question. Is our substitute list exhausted before we go to this list?
We use certified teachers first, and then it calls the other, like I said, these are certified, but they're emergency certified, so, yeah, the person was certified first.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Adelphi Education Services Agreement. Motion to approve the agreement with Adelphi Education Services as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Mr. Gansey. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
IU1 Educational Services Agreement 2022-23. Motion to approve the Educational Services Agreement for 22-23 with Intermediate Unit 1 as presented.
There is a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Mr. Max. Any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Blueprints Pre-K Counts Meals Service Agreement 2022-23. Motion to approve the 2022-23 Meal Service Agreement with Blueprints as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Do we have a second to this motion?
Second.
Mr. Collins. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Blueprints Pre-K Counts Lease Agreement 2022-23. Motion to approve the 2022-23 lease agreement with Blueprints as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mr. Collins. Any discussion on the motion? I have one question. The $9,000, is it the same as last year?
The cost usually stays the same.
And is the maintenance also included? Okay. Any questions this one? There's a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Resolution Flexible Instruction Days. Motion to approve the resolution for the use of flexible instruction days beginning the 2022-23 school year as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Matches. Any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Technology Administrator Job Description. Motion to approve the job description for Technology Administrator as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mr. Collins. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Technology Administrator Position. Motion to offer the technology administrator position to Travis Townsend as recommended by the superintendent, with salary set at $83,000 and terms per the Act 93 agreement effective July 1st, 2022.
I'll second
We have a motion on the floor. Mr. Gansey seconded. Any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
that.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Business Office Administrative Assistant position. Motion to offer the Business Office Administrative Assistant position to Rachel Pratt as recommended by the superintendent, with prorated salary set at $32,500 for the remainder of the 2021-22 school year and $32,500 for the 2022-23 school year, and terms per the Secretary Compensation Plan effective May 23rd, 2022.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mathis, any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Homework House Supervisor. Motion to approve Lindsay White as Homework House Supervisor at the rate of $30 per hour.
Motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Homework House Aides. Motion to approve Brandy Higginbotham and Prudis Battis to work as Homework House Aides at the rate of $14.64 per hour.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Mr. Collins. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
EMS Southwest Agreement. Motion to approve the agreement with EMS Southwest to provide ambulance service for the graduation ceremony.
There's a motion on the floor. Do we have a second to this motion? Mr. Ganis. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Resignation, Julie Keener, Business Manager. Motion to accept the resignation of Julie Keener, Business Manager, effective June 30th, 2022.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Mr. Massey. Is there any discussion on this motion? I'd just like to say that I'd like to thank Ms. Keener for the work she's done for the district. Sorry to see her go, but it's what's good for her family and professional career, I guess, and we wish her the best. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, I have two informational items. The summer hours, notification of summer office hours effective June 6th to August 26th, 2022. No action necessary. Graduation speaker will be Dr. Walt Stoy, class of 1974, as graduation speaker for the class of 2022. No action necessary. And that concludes my report, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Boucher. Budget and Finance, Mr. Massey.
Bond for treasurer. Motion to set bond for board treasurer at $25,000.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Mr. Collins. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Compensation for treasurer. Motion to set the compensation for board treasurer at $0, the same as previous year.
Motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Berry? Any discussion on the, on this motion? Having none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Allegheny County School Health Insurance Rates 2022-2023. Motion to approve the 2022-2023 Allegheny County School Health Insurance Rates as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mr. Gansey. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you, Mr. Mack. That's your last official duty. Activities and athletics, Mr. Gansey.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Make a motion to approve the request for field trips, items A through D. Pittsburgh Zoo, 20 students, Pittsburgh, June 4th, 2022. Esports competition, 6 students, Waynesburg University, time to be announced. C, IU1 Student Showcase, 2 students, Cannonsburg, retroactive May the 11th, 2022. D, Water Park 20, Waynesburg or Morgantown, July 1st, 8th, or 15th.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Wojtek, any discussion on the motion?
I'd like to ask a question on that.
Sure.
What, at the water park, what are they, what is this? What do they do?
It's for the helping house, and it's completely covered. We have a company that donated for that and the zoo, so no cost.
That's fine, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
A company called Shaft Drillers.
Okay.
Have donated everything. So
Thank you.
we have a second, motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion is carried.
Make a motion to offer the assistant football coach position to Mark Berry with a salary split with Cody Allen and terms for the professional contract for the 2022 season, 23 season.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Wojtek, any discussion on the motion? I have a comment concerning, my stance has always been, I don't believe that administrators should be coaches as well as full board members, so I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Farrer?
Yes.
Mr. Gansey?
I'm going to pass right now.
Dr. Kraus, not here. Dr. Martin? I'm sorry, Ms. Martin?
No.
Dr. Manchus?
Yes.
Dr. Ms. May? Not here. Mr. Pratt? Not here. Mrs. Woodcock?
Yes.
Going back to Mr. Gansey.
Well, I tell you, I agree with what you're saying. The smallest district like this is just hard to find someone to go along with it. Yes.
Motion passes 5-1.
Okay. Motion to approve the trip.
Yes, sir.
Would I say we're, I have the same reservation, but I also believe that the administrators and or board members should not be head coaches. I believe that when there is correct supervision of them, that's obviously something I would look for support.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
Motion to approve the transfer of Cody Allen from an extra booster funded football coach position to a district paid assistant football coach position with Mark Berry with salary split and terms for the professional contract for the 2022-2023 season.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mrs. Wojtek, any discussion on this motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Mr. Gansey.
Thank you.
You did such a good job, you get to do the next one.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Gaddis.
You're welcome, Mr. Perry. Motion to approve the request for facilities items A and B below as presented. A, for the Love of Dance Auditorium, June the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2023. All-class reunion, middle senior high, October the 29th, 2022.
Excuse me, 2022, there's a misprint on the, for the Love of Dance. It says 2023 and it says 23.
That should be 23.
It should be 22.
Okay. Maybe there's no changes.
He doesn't have that last one, C, because I have it. Do you have C on there, Mr. Gansey?
Pardon me?
Do you have C under that? So we
No,
had
I don't
new-
have a C.
See, we had a new one added.
I must have got, I got it.
Yeah, I emailed it to everyone.
Well, you know me and my computer. Okay, which one we got?
We're on C. You did the class
Okay.
reunion, right?
Yeah.
And Carmichael's Copperhead.
All right, Carmichael's Copperhead Field Side Batting Cage, May the 20th to August the 10th, 2022.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mrs. Wojtek, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Okay, motion to approve Morgan Basinger to provide transportation for her child to the DePaul School for Hearing for the 2022-23 school year. This will be to and from with the approved IRS rate. Appropriate records and proof of insurance must be provided.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to this motion? Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Motion's carried. Thank you. Thank you. Bills for payment.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills for payment in the amount of $1,245,511.64 as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. We have a second to this
We
motion.
need a motion.
We need a motion.
Oh, I need a motion to pay the
Yeah, one of the board members have to make that motion.
matches.
And I'll second.
Seconded by Ms. Wojtek. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clement?
Yes.
Mr. Farrick?
Abstain.
Mr. Hennessy?
Yes.
Dr. Cross is absent. Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Dr. Magic?
Yes.
Mr. May is absent. Mr. Pratt is absent. Mrs. Wojtek?
Yes.
Motion passes 5 yeses, 0 noes, 1 abstention. All right. Motion to approve the secretary, treasurer, and other financial reports as presented.
So moved.
Mrs. Wojtek, second. Mr. Collins, any discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Board member resignation, Dr. Jason Matches. Motion to accept the resignation of board member Dr. Jason Matches effective June 4th, 2022.
Should that be effective after, in case we, because I think you said.
Graduation, yeah. the day
So,
after graduation.
effective
The day after
after,
graduation.
day after graduation.
Sure. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of board member Dr. Jason Matches effective after graduation.
We need a motion for that. Mr. Ganis, need a second, please? You're seconding yourself.
I
Get myself on the
second.
door.
Any discussion on this motion?
I'd like to make a comment if I could.
Yes, you may.
So I just want to say to the public, after 5 years of serving on the board, school district as a board director, it's bittersweet that regretfully I'm going to be resigning on June 4th or shortly after graduation. Professionally, I'm pursuing my dream in higher education that comes at a cost of not serving the district anymore. And so I want to leave the school district with 2 things I tell my students all the time, because I do teach in higher education. First is, live such a life that when you die, the undertaker cries. The second thing is, never let a bad day make you feel like you have a bad life, right? Because it can get kind of tough, especially on the board. It's been a privilege serving with all of you and for serving the voters. May God bless Carmichael Area School District. Thank you.
I had known Mr. Matches before this, and he's become a personal friend of mine, and I'm going to miss him.
Thank you.
He's done a lot with this school, and he's going to be hard to replace. We will advertise for the position to replace him, to fulfill the rest of his, and that'll be in the paper and on the website about what to do for people that are interested in replacing him. We will go from there. Thank you very much.
Pays a little slim.
Yeah, it doesn't pay a lot.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Jason, been good working with you, really enjoyed it. I think you've been a very effective board member, and good luck in your future. You're welcome.
I'm gonna miss you.
No, I'm good a little quick.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second on the floor. Any more discussion or comment? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion's carried. Federal programs, Mr. Berry.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Martin. Nothing to report at this time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Legislative report, Mr. Massey. Public relations, nothing. Comprehensive plan representative, Mr. Coleman.
I have, I think Mr. Combs had asked for information, so just want to give everyone an update. June, we will be putting information on our current comprehensive plan. That'll be up on our website to take a look at to see the goals that we met, we're still working on. So that'll be coming in June on our website. We're also going to start forming a committee for our new comprehensive plan. That is due on March 30th, 2023. So we're going to start forming that committee in June as well to start looking at where we want the next comprehensive plan to go. So anyone interested, I have some names from the last time. I'll reach out to see if they're still interested, but I know we'll add you to it. I know you want to be on that as well. So just looking down, our comp plan is due March 30th, 2023. Induction is 6 year, but we do that part of the comprehensive plan this time. So we'll go through it again, but it'll just be a repeat of what we've done because it's technically not due until March of 26. Student services, March of 26 as well. Special education plan is due this summer, July 30th, 2022. Gifted education is on a 6 year rotation. She'll work on that, but it'll be officially due July 25. So I know you asked for those dates. I just wanted to make sure I gave you those dates as well. So back to
GCC and TC, Representative Mr. May is at graduation for that.
waiting tonight. So proud of those kids.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and virtually also. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Masters. Second? Mr. Candace. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Mr. Farrick.
Thank you all.
Nothing.